Hey, it's Lauren from 52 Weeks of Hope, and I am so excited. I have Mike Prince from this week's episode, The Conscious Creator, and he has such an amazing episode. I had so much fun listening to it again, and then I listened to it again just because it's so uplifting. So if you haven't listened to it, we're going to talk about a few different things, but also some of the same about how you can find fulfillment through your challenges. And Mike, you've definitely been through it, and now you're grateful for everything you went through, which it's always like hindsight. Going through it sucks, but there's
Yeah.
always a good story and there's always gratitude on the other side, and it's where we get our most growth. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you, Lauren. I'm excited to be here. And it was so fun to record that podcast and looking forward to watching it back myself as well. So I'm Mike Prince, also known as the Conscious Creator. I'm a coach, I'm a podcaster myself. I'm a breathwork facilitator. And ultimately, as Lauren said, well, we won't sugarcoat it. I was brought to the depths of hell with disease and a burnt out corporate man, and I had choices to make. And ultimately, for me, I chose light over dark. And there's that's what we had the opportunity to talk about.
Yeah, and so I keep thinking about how you found a shaman to help you through getting through your disease, and it's like I want a shaman, like, but it's also that I want to. To me, that sounds like I want a quick fix. That's what it sounds like when I hear it. Like,
Mm.
oh, you get a shaman, you get a magic formula, and then you're better. That is not your story, but if you
No.
got you a fix, you got you well.
Yeah, like hey, I mean, they can get you that spark you may need, right? And that's what I found, and it wasn't expected. She was not the silver bullet for me or rather, she became a huge part of it. But at the time, I was really looking at the physiological, thinking, okay, I can help my immune system. But as we know in life, right, the expectations we have turn out generally a little bit different, and we have to surrender to what is, or we might get surprised.
Yeah, I love the surrender to what is. It's like go with the flow of the river and go with what's put in front of you, really, and follow that. Just breathe.
Yeah, and I mean, as humans, it's very hard for us to do. We are beings that we love our control. And that's ultimately where anxiety comes from too, right? Is that when people are trying to control their future, which we can't control, or they're living in the past, right? Which has already happened. Why are we still thinking about it? All we can control is you and I talking right here and now. This is it, this present moment.
Mhm.
Right. And so it's what we choose to do in every present moment that may serve our future.
It's so true.
Right.
I know somebody that used to wear a rubber band just to snap and remind themselves, stay in the moment, stay in the moment,
Mm,
to
yeah.
remind them, right here, right now. This is what matters. What am I doing? Where are my feet?
Yeah. It's one of the hardest things to do. And many people can claim they live presently. But the reality is when we have emails pinging and we have our teams calling us and we have, you know, Instagram and Facebook and all our socials pinging and everything, family, and it's hard to stay present. Right. But when you can truly do it, you become such an effective individual, right? And in this conversation we're having with our partners, with our kids, with our business, when we can slow down and observe ourselves and our own actions, that's true presence. And it's freedom.
Yeah, it's the being intentional. I love how you do your breath work with your wife. And I mean, you do it with your community, you do it everywhere. Like you've become a facilitator. It went from, oh, this is amazing, to now you facilitate large groups and so on. For somebody who hasn't done that kind of breath work or whatever it is, whatever resonates with them,
Yeah.
whatever it is that works, that's do it.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. And that's it. It's it, right? Whatever, everybody's different. Breath work is a magical tool because it's free to us and it will make incredible changes in your life. And as you said, my wife and I aren't perfect. We'll do breath work for a stint for a while together and then we kind of fade off. But we just restarted. We said, we're going to get up at 6 together, do our breath work, and then we have our coffee and we have a bit of chat time before the boys get up. And what that adds to your day, whether you're sitting with a partner or whether you're doing that on your own, is incredible. Like, it's next level how it launches your day to start to your day.
Yeah, absolutely. And so somebody that they're in a funk. They know
Mm,
they need to get out. They're not what you had gone through and everything else, but they're in a funk.
yeah.
How would you suggest they get going again?
You know what? Three things come to mind right away, and one we just spoke about. One is the breath, guys. It's intentional breath. We can bring ourselves down out of an anxious state in seconds. And how I'll just demonstrate quickly if
Yeah,
I
go
could.
ahead. I love when you do
Um,
this. Yeah, go.
Honestly, what you want to do, guys, is obviously close down your eyes, try to center yourself, but it's doing a long breath in through your nose and then letting the breath fall the way out. And really allowing your exhale to be longer than your inhale. If you do that even 5 times, you'll open your eyes and you feel like a different person. That is one that I would recommend to you. And what it's doing, if you really have to get into that logical mind of yours, is it's dropping us into a restorative state. Okay, it's dropping your body into the parasympathetic nervous system. So it's telling your body that you're safe, that everything's okay. And you really want to keep that breath down in your belly as well. So that's one. The second thing I would say, which again is free, everybody has access to, even if you're in the city, get into nature. Find a patch of grass if that's all you can find and put your bare feet on it. Okay. We are humans in an electronic world. So we get so dysregulated so quickly. But nature, I mean, we're meant to be in nature. It's where we came from. And it's where, most of us are trying to get back to. But get in a forest, breathe some fresh air, get your skin in the sunlight, get your feet on the grass. If even for a few minutes daily, it is everything.
It is. Grounding is so important. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
and again, the third one I would say that comes to mind. I have a fourth now too, but I won't keep going forever. But it's
You
move
can,
your body. It's
yeah.
move your body. Like energy is everything. Moving your blood in your body is everything. It brings you energy. Move your body. It is such a game changer, and It doesn't have to be at a gym. You can do squats. You can do push-ups. You can run around your house if you have to. It can all
Yeah,
be
or just
done.
or take a walk outside. It doesn't have to
Yeah,
be
or
cardio.
walk
It
the
doesn't have
block.
to be anything, yeah, without a device.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the fourth and final, this is the bonus one, is silence. Guys, close off all your distractions and find silence. And if your mind is going crazy at first, like it usually does, don't get frustrated. Don't get angry with it. You have to accept that, right? And that's welcome the thoughts that are coming in and allow them to move along. So find that silence.
Yeah, and I'm definitely a big advocate of that as well. And okay, so somebody who's in the midst of the challenge, how do they know there's light at the end, that there's fulfillment, that this is their greatest gift?
Yeah, you don't when you're in the thick of it, right? It can be a very dark place, and this is where our choices are important, and we have to know that we are our own healers. Everybody has within them the ability and the capabilities to heal themselves. They just have to really make a shift and make those small choices. Because if you look at, if you're laying in bed and you can't even get out of bed and you don't know why, just because you're not feeling happy, you have to make the first choice to simply put your feet on the ground, to sit up. That's it. That's it. Let's not jump out to the gym. Let's not jump to, the forest. Let's put our feet on the ground, and then it's like, let's get a glass of water or let's stretch. But take these micro decisions and let's do one at a time, because that's where overwhelm is going to come from. If we think, oh man, I haven't even been out of the house in 7 days, how am I going to go be in front of people and be judged? You're not going to be judged, by the way, but that's what we
That's
think, right? Is
right.
But if we pull it back and just make the simplest micro decision at a time and then celebrate it and be like, okay, good for you, Mike. You got your butt out of bed. You've put your feet on the floor. You've put some water on your face. Now try a shower, right? Like, that's taking it to an extreme, but who knows where people are at? That's
Absolutely.
we've all experienced that sadness at one time or another where we don't know where it comes from. We don't need to know, right? And we gotta really bring self-love into the equation as well. Is that we can even love when we're feeling that way. We should be able to love ourselves even when we're feeling that way. And we should normalize it. Know that it's okay. We don't have to always know why we're feeling a certain emotion or feeling a certain way, but we are. And that's the human body. And that's our beautiful mind that we get to love. And when we can go from a place of darkness to love or gratitude, and know that we can still move our physical body, that we still have the capability to stand, that changes everything. And then, moving forward, it's now implement that gratitude every single day in a small way. When you get out of bed, thank yourself again, pat yourself, right? And if we do that day after day after day, those darker times are going to seem further away, and they're going to be less and less.
Yeah, that's for sure. And writing down a gratitude list, write down a few things that I can walk,
Mhm.
that I have electricity on, or that, whatever it is that you can hear,
Yes.
whatever it is. They can be that simple. And I was told why doesn't matter. Just keep going. What's the
Yeah. And
difference if you knew why? If you knew why, would that change anything? Like, it wouldn't. Just
no, and we get so caught up in all the things we have to do, right, in our chores. But as you just said, if we take some time to look around at gratitude, and I have to do the dishes. No, you get to do the dishes because you have dishes, because you have food you were able to put on those plates. I have to clean my house. No, you get to clean your house because you have a home. There's many people in this world that don't have it, right? I have to shovel no, right? And it's if we continually look at what we get to do, because these are opportunities because of what we've created in our lives, what we've been blessed with. Again, shifting to that state of gratitude.
yeah, always. It's a higher vibration, and it, the gratitude lists are just such game changers. And people are like, I
Yes.
don't feel grateful right now. I said, no, 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 it does. You don't have to right now. It's when you get to the end of the list. That's when you feel like, oh, I do have things to be grateful for. Uh,
Yes.
so that's the whole point of the exercise. So yeah. So do you have a message I hope you want to give?
Um, it's I think I've shared all of my messages that come top to mind, but ultimately, guys, it's self-love. Self-love and love wins every time. Love over fear every single time, and I gave a workshop speech recently about a month ago, and I caught myself in a very nervous state, and I'd never done it to that size before. And that's fear coming to us. But anything that makes us scared is always the direction we should go, right? But immediately when I switched to love and I said, I'm going to go into that room and I'm going to love everybody, and I love myself for the capability of doing this, I was fine. I was comfortable. I was collected. And we can take that in any state, right? Like, anything we do in our daily lives, it's anytime we feel that fear arrive, that fear of could be as simple as going outside, right? But we have to transmute that to love, and that love the opportunity that we get to go outside, and that we have these things in front of us, right? So I think just as simple as love over fear every time, and it's that's a great reminder for all of us.
Yeah, it definitely is. And then people are like, well, how do I find a mentor? How do I find the people that to do this with? How do I find people to co-create with? What are you going to tell them?
Hmm. First and foremost, it's being receptive to it. It's opening up our fields to abundance and to possibility, right? It's same with it when we talk about finances. Is we tell ourselves so many stories as we get to certain ages, if we've built these patterns and these stories for so long, right? So, um, I'll tell you. I mean, the story of how Trev and I met. On listen, I met my business partner, now really good friend as well, uh, in our neighborhood, walking strollers down the street. And the reality is that I had opened myself up to that previously. I was looking for someone to have deeper conversations with. So that was one. Two would be that if him or I didn't, go jump over that bro hoop of saying hi and talking about sports and whatever else, we would have stayed just that, acquaintances. We would have, okay, see you later, see you never, and nothing would have developed. So you have to be open and willing to take that next step, right? Of maybe going a little bit into the zone you're not too comfortable of. So where are those people hanging out that you want to collaborate with, that you want to connect with? That's, if they're not at the bar, I'll tell you that. Okay. They're not in those places that maybe you've built your current reality around. You have to build a new reality, right? And that's changing our personality. right? And so there's a lot of changes that need to happen there and that we need to be open to. And we need to stop caring what our current circle thinks, because that's how we attract new individuals and new circles and like-minded people that we want to grow with. And are you in a room that's expanding you, or are you in a room that's keeping you safe and keeping you right here? So
Right.
ask
So
yourself that.
go to the breathwork centers, the yoga places, and
Yeah,
studios and meditation
you
places where
got
there's
it.
lots of meditation. That's where people. That's where you're going to find your vibe attracts your tribe. So
Yeah, people that are doing the work, people that are looking for similar expansion.
absolutely, the world is expansive and abundant. There's enough for everybody.
Absolutely.
This is so great. So, everybody, you want episode 192. It is such a good episode. Get more of Mike. And he's already told us that he's going to come on and do a full breathwork session for us, which I just love. So, we'll do that in the community.
I
Thank
look
you so
forward to
much.
it.
Is there anything else you want to lead? I have all the links right below. So, you have that on the website and on his, you have a new website?
Yeah, consciouscreator.world.
Yeah. And that's down below also. Thanks so much for going live today.
Thank you, Lauren. Appreciate your time as always. Tons of
Yeah.
love, everybody.